Hey guys, so for today's video I'm going to be doing a Tarte brand review, and basically I'm just going to be explaining all the products that I have, swatching them, and then saying how I feel about the products, the price, and the packaging. So without further ado, let's get into the video. So first I'm going to talk about some products that I don't own currently or have had before or have seen a lot of good things about. First one is obviously the Shape Tape Concealer. I've had that before. It was $27 and there are 14 shades. Comes with a pretty good amount of product, so the price isn't too bad. That product is so good. I would give that product definitely a 5 out of 5. From using it before, I would definitely purchase it. Next product is the Amazonian Clay 12-Hour Foundation. There are 25 shades, which is a great shade range. And it's $39, but it's a super high coverage foundation, so I think it's not a terrible price. I give that product a 4 out of 5. The next product that I would consider purchasing is Skin Twinkle Lighting Palette, and it's the Rainforest of the Sea part of the brand, and it was knocked down from $42 to $28. It has 3 highlighters. And I've swatched them before and they're really pretty, so I would definitely recommend buying that palette. 5 out of 5. Their lip liners are $12 right now instead of $18, so that is a great price as well. I haven't actually tried them, but that seems like a good deal. I have used their bamboo foundation brush and powder foundation brushes. The regular foundation brush is $34, which I think is quite expensive for what it is, but it is a good sturdy brush. The powder foundation brush is $28, and I don't think it's worth the price. It's just a small stubby brush, and it works pretty well, but I wouldn't recommend paying $28 for it. Their contour highlighting palette is, I think it was $42 to $48, and that has 6 different shades. And that palette seems really good. I've heard a lot of good reviews on it, so I would definitely recommend getting that as well. Overall, Tarte's packaging is a 5 out of 5 for me, and the price is a 4 out of 5. I feel like some things are overpriced for what they are. Now to get into the products that I have. I have the Tartist Pro eyelashes in Flirt. Now, these lashes have a pretty packaging. I don't have them with me, but the lash band is pretty bendable, and they're definitely long enough eyelashes to fit anyone's eyes. They are pretty lashes, but I feel like you could get better lashes from Ardell, so I wouldn't recommend buying these. The next thing that I have is the powder foundation, or foundation powder. This foundation powder is $36. I will have to say that these take up a lot of time to get through. I have the shades Light Beige and Sun-Kissed. Light Beige says it's good for light skin with pink undertones. This Amazonian Clay airbrush powder has 0.247 ounces of product in each one. So that doesn't actually seem like a lot, but it seems to take up a lot. Seems to take a lot of time to get through. So Light Beige is the top shade, and then Sun-Kissed is the bottom shade. Sun-Kissed is actually pretty dark and kind of orangey, so just be aware of that if you are ever thinking about buying these. The next product that I have is this Tarte Clean Slate Timeless Smoothing Primer. I have it in a small size. It's in 0.067 ounces, and I have to say this is a pretty good primer. I feel like it gives your face a nice base to work with, so I would recommend this. The next product I have is an eyebrow product. I think it's a 12-hour wear waterproof brow product, and it only has 0.1 ounces, but it has lasted forever. Like, I still have product on the sides, and products say they, dry out. This one doesn't happen to be too bad when it dries out. So definitely recommend this eyebrow product. I think it's about $24. The next thing that I have is Tarte Skinny Smolder Eyes Amazonian Clay Waterproof Eyeliners. And I will go ahead and swatch them. These are super creamy. Like, that one just went on like a dream. Let's see if I can do this one the same. They are so pigmented, and they just work really well. You do have to sharpen them, but I think it's worth it. They're super good. I have the shade ONYX, I don't really know how to say that, Plum Tanzanite, Period Green, and Smoky Quartz. So here are the shades. They are extremely pigmented. The green one has a little bit of shimmer in it, as well as the purple. So these two shades, but the other two are pretty much matte. I would definitely recommend these. These are super good, high quality eyeliners. The next thing I have are the Tarte glossy lip paints and the lip paints. The glossy lip paint does not have a name on it, but the lip paint is in Birthday Suit and I got it for my birthday. I prefer the lip paints, personally. The glossy lip paints are pretty good if you find the right lipstick to put them on top of. The full-size lip paints are $20, which I feel like is a good price for these products. So we have the lip paint and the glossy lip paint. They definitely remind me of NYX products, but they are only $20 for the full size, so it's not a bad deal, and I would recommend getting those. The next thing that I have are the Tarte Lipsurance lip tints. Now I have 8 of the small versions and 1 of the big version. The Tarte lip version in Glitzy, I'm impressed with all the small ones, except for the packaging is a little bit deceiving on several of them. Now the big one was not such a hit for me. We got it on sale, and it's very, very patchy, if you can see that, and that was just an even swatch. Now I'll show you what the shade Wonder looks like swatched one swipe across. That shade is very creamy and goes on very pigmented. The next shade I have is Striking, and this one swatches even more pigmented, right there. The next shade I have is Stunning. And that is just a very nice nude shade that would work for anyone. Then we have Pizzazz, and Pizzazz is a very bright, dark pink shade, and like, it swatches so perfectly. They kind of smell minty, and you might want to wear a lip liner with these because they do tend to smudge out of the lines. The next shade that I have, which is very gorgeous, is in Ritzy, and this one has some shimmer to it. The next shade that I have is Luscious, and this one looks like it's going to be very dark, but it's actually not too dark and has a nice sheen to it. The next shade I have is Jazzy, and this one's looks are quite deceiving as well. It looks like it's going to be quite dark, but then it just comes off really quite light pink. And the last shade I have is Glamorous. It looks like this, and it swatches like a nice deep mauve shade. So here are all the swatches. As you can see, these swatched so much nicer than the big version. I don't know why, if that one was just a fail or what. Now the packaging is shimmery on this one, so I wonder if that makes a difference, but this one I would not recommend. The little ones are a great purchase. Things from the Tarte brand are probably their blushes. I have a total of 11 of their blushes. I have Stellar, Surprised, and Party. Now these are their 12-hour wear blushes, and I will go ahead and swatch them on this part of my arm. So the first one that I have is Stellar. It's just like a light pink with a shift of gold. Surprised is more of like a matte shade. And it's pretty similar to the other one, just more matte. The next shade that I have is Party, and that came with the 2017 birthday kit as well, and it's pretty much a pretty universal shade for everyone. And that is pretty similar as well, it's just more neutral. Now I'm going to be getting into the Blush Bazaar palette. This palette was $48, I believe, and it came with 8 blushes and 2 highlighters. This was a great purchase because they're just a little bit smaller than the regular containers, but you're getting 8 blushes and 2 highlighters. So first I'm gonna swatch Angelic, which is the shade right here. This one is a more orangey kind of apricot shade. Then we have Fortunate. That's just a little bit darker and more vibrant than the last shade. Then we have Skillful, and this is just a nice mauve. And then we have Exhilarating, and this shade is the most interesting out of this row. It is just a fun pop of pink. The next shade that we have is Endless, and this is probably one of my favorite shades in the palette. It's just a rich dark shade that would be great for fall. Then we have Authentic, and this is just a rich purple shade. Then Dainty, which has some shimmer in it, and it's just like a lighter coral again. Then we have Extraordinary, and this is shimmery. This reminds me a lot of the first shade is Stellar. And now onto the highlighters. We have Whimsical, which is a golden shade, and Worthy, which is more of like a pink hue. And here are the 2 highlighters. Honestly, if you're looking at the blushes, these top 3 are very similar with a couple down here. These 3 are definitely the most different out of all of them. So you don't have to buy every single blush that they have, but if you were to get this, I think this is a great purchase, and you get highlighters. And the highlighters are very good. And the packaging on this is very sturdy. So again, the Blush Bazaar palette, I would definitely recommend this. The next palette that I have is the Make Believe in Yourself palette, and the packaging is wonderful. And it comes with a mirror and 10 eyeshadows, 1 matte shade and 9 shimmery shades, and then a highlighter in the middle. Okay, so here are all the shades swatched. We have Myth, which is the only matte shade. Then we have Magic. Then we have Wings. Then we have Marvel. Then we have Trance. Then Fairy. Then Mystic. Then Dream. Then Crystal. Then Pixie. And then the middle highlighter shade. My personal favorites are Marvel, Trance, Crystal, and Magic. So this palette again is really great, and the highlighter shade is really good as well. It's on my nose right now. See, look how pigmented. And last but not least, I have the Tartelette In Bloom palette. This palette is another Amazonian clay palette. The packaging is, once again, 5 out of 5. The mattes are super good and the shimmers are very pigmented. The two most shimmery shades, this one could definitely work as a highlighter. I would definitely recommend this palette. It is super good, super high quality mirror comes with it, and the packaging is super sturdy. It also comes with a couple eye looks that you could do if you wanted to follow along with what they had. Overall, I think Tarte is a really good brand. From what I've bought so far, I haven't had any problems with the brand, so I would definitely recommend buying from Tarte. If you guys liked this video, then make sure and give it a thumbs up. And make sure to subscribe to my channel. So thank you all for watching and see you next time. Bye!